Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning into your favorite news destination, Donald Trump 2.0. That's right. Rolling coverage right here on News 9, ladies and gentlemen. The DC Arena speech yesterday with those braggadocio statements and what it means for Indians, that's going to be our top focus as we continue to decode what this recalibrated United States and India relationship looks like. Let's break this down for all the viewers. The world, needless to say, is watching on as Donald Trump is all set and poised to take oath as the 47th President of the United States, marking an unprecedented return to the White House. With this comes critical questions about a second Trump presidency. What does that mean for global diplomacy, the Indo-Pacific, and most importantly, Indians and India back at home? From shared concerns about China to the evolving dynamics in West Asia, India and the United States face a moment of recalibration. And tonight, we bring you continuous live coverage and a deep dive into how Trump's brash leadership style, his obsession with global leverage, and his vision for a mandate-driven, the word mandate, that he's throwing about in private and, of course, public domains. This mandate-driven second term, what could this mean in terms of redefining this pivotal relationship? First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at some facts as well in terms of implications for India. Now, Donald Trump has targeted India's high tariffs. India, the tariff king, Trump says. And he's promised reciprocal tariff policies. Information technology, textiles, pharmaceuticals, the exports, they all are going to face challenges, is what experts are pointing out towards. Higher costs may reduce competitiveness, and tariffs disrupt India's export growth. That's another point that key economists are now looking at. Electronics and engineering goods are going to be affected, but at the same time, we need to look at India and United States' bilateral trade relations as well. Now, Indian exports to the United States, they stand at $77.52 billion US dollars. US imports from India stand at $42.2 billion. US is India's largest trade partner. And bilateral trade, it surpassed the $120 billion mark in financial year 2024. And at the same time, the National Mall, viewers are starting to line in. All the Republicans, they're making their way to Washington, D.C. at the National Mall, where in the wee hours of the day at 2 a.m. local time over there, security checks had begun. Those convoys, the red and blue flashy lights, they've started to move about as people who've made their way to Washington, D.C. are also a little bit hurt over the fact that this is going to be taking place indoors, ladies and gentlemen. And that's only because it's too cold. But of course, in the advent of anything that could happen, Republicans are also happy that it's going to be more secure and safe that it's going to happen inside the Capitol Rotunda. Of course, tariff and the tariff threat to India's growth. Of course, Indians looking at uncertainty when it comes to immigration. But the tariff threats, let's focus on that a little bit. 100% tariffs could raise the export costs. Indian products may lose their competitiveness, and there are, of course, several supply chain challenges as well. There's going to be disruption to key industries reliant on United States' trade. India is going to now have to navigate through US's transactional tariff policies, that too very carefully. Opportunities also, of course, arise. There's a silver lining amidst all of these challenges. The China Plus One strategy may end up favoring India. There's going to be focus on artificial intelligence, the semiconductors and technology sectors, which of course India is going big on as well. And here's India's path forward. What does it look like? There's going to be leveraging trade policies for mutual benefits, needless to say. There's going to be strengthening of positions in the global supply chains. We're looking at the India-U.S. Middle East corridor as well. Joining me here on the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, is Ambassador Suresh K. Goyal, former Indian diplomat, Surinder Singh Lalli, political analyst, international affairs, and Canada, US seem to be the keen focus. Is also somebody who's part of the Democratic Party caucus in fundraising in the NY tri-state area when Bill Clinton ran for office. A very warm welcome to you, sir. And Xavier Rodriguez, senior journalist, foreign affairs, also with us on the broadcast. You know what, gentlemen? Just take a look at some of these visuals that we're playing out for all the viewers of what it looks like in the morning time. Of course, Florida woke up a little bit early. There was a cathedral, a proper church session that also took place. And now, moving towards Washington is where the sun is making its head. And of course, very soon, Carrie Underwood is going to be singing America the Beautiful. Some of those fan reactions on your screens, and then we're going to get the snowball rolling with my esteemed set of panelists.
I'm here because this is the best day ever. The shit show's over. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm excited to see Trump back for my kids struggling, and money's in our pocket, and I'm ready to have this world turned around. And it's been a long 4 years, and I'm ready.
We were debating, actually. We had flights out of Newark to fly down originally. But then when we heard the news that he canceled it, and we have tickets for outside, for inside we don't have tickets for, so we said, you know what, let's go to the rally. Let's get as early as possible. Let's give it our all, and hopefully get a chance to see him. Participate in victory celebration. So we got here about 5 a.m. this morning. Left the hotel around 4:15.
And how's it been?
It's been great. I mean, it's a vibe. But, I mean, earlier this morning, it had to be a few thousand people here already. And the vibe here is phenomenal. It really is. It's a good, positive vibe. No one's complaining about the cold, the lines, the way. It's a nice, it's a good feeling so far.
I got here at 5 in the morning. Yeah, and tomorrow the same. I was going to go out there now because of the freezing cold. I don't care. I've got to do it. I've got to do it now. I can't wait to dance that YMCA dance. I'm practicing. I'm hoping Trump will wave back. And yeah.
Frank Sinatra lookalikes, you've got Elvis Presley lookalikes, everybody's thronging the National Mall over there. Ambassador Goel, I'm going to quickly come to you first. When we're talking about the new Trump world order, there are 4 or 5 things that people talk about. Of course, reversing the green agenda under Joe Biden. Immigration seems to be one of those big talking points that Indians are most necessarily worried about at this point in time. Transactional trade, could that lead to coercing his treaty allies in Europe, or will that lead to a trade war? All of this is supposed to be talked about, but what are you focusing on? We're getting these exclusive visuals from Washington, D.C. Our reporters and boots on the ground over there as well. We'll continuously go to them as well. But let's get the snowball rolling here. Ambassador Goel, over to you. How are you looking at Donald Trump, the disruptor-in-chief, making a return?
That's the best word I've heard today, disruptor-in-chief. And that is exactly how I would describe Trump as the President of the United States, because he has come on the mandate to disrupt the existing order, and is determined to do it, and he will do it definitely, without any doubt whatsoever, without mincing the words, whether it is Democratic Party in the USA, or it's a liberal order, or it's a Europe security architecture. The only thing that will not change, and that has not changed since his first term, even during the interregnum of Biden, is China being seen as a potential rival, potential threat to the USA, and which actually has become even more important as a challenge to the USA. And India's position in the whole scheme remains as a kind of balancing factor in Indo-Pacific, if not the world, and because India is a balancer in the Indo-Pacific to China, which the USA sees as a major rival, I think in a strategic sense, India will continue to be a very, very important partner, but with the trade and the tariffs posing a threat. But I don't think that is something which is going to be too difficult for us to really meet or for us to address. Indian business is quite adept. I don't think Indian trade with the USA came down even during his first term, despite all the kinds of threats. So we need to wait and see. This is the macro picture. We'll come to the granular picture in a bit then.
All right, all right. Surinder Singh Lalli, I'm going to bring you in next. I mean, American history and politics has come a long way since the Bill Clinton days now, hasn't it? And, talk to us about the visuals that we're now seeing. J.D. Vance has made his way to the Capitol Rotunda, the vice president earlier, then the president at this point in time. And we're going to continuously show you these visuals about how the fireworks started beginning as he, entered Washington ever since the 18th, a slew of galas and balls that have been planned out as well. Yesterday, and of course, the Americans think that the contradiction lies in the music itself with, Kid Rock and the villagers playing YMCA, a foul-mouthed, white rapper that was made this face of, country rebellion ahead of Donald Trump's campaign as well. Some of those fresh visuals on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Surinder Singh Lalli, talk to us about the importance of the inauguration ceremony, about the significance of the Capitol Rotunda, how many people can essentially fit in there, and the fact that now it's happening indoors after 1985 when Reagan was sworn in.
Thank you, Kabir. It's a pleasure and honor for me to be here. And on a note of levity, you used the words